Welcome everybody, this is the Proof At The Play podcast. I'm Austin, that is Ryan.
What's up?
Week 18 picks. The end of the regular season is here.
We're getting so close to holiday season, it is starting to hurt.
Now that we're through the Hallmark bullshit, we can officially get to the real holiday season that is the playoffs. A lot of teams going on rest this week. Do you know who's not resting this week?
I got one guess and one guess only. It's going to be our buddies out there at Sticks Golf Lounge.
That is correct.
Fuck yes. Sticks Golf Lounge, Humboldt, Kansas. Stop in, have a drink, play a couple rounds. Let them know Ryan and Austin from the Too Fat to Play podcast sent you out their way. Yeah, I know. Small hiccup there. Trying to watch college football while doing an ad read is rough.
Again, we should probably stop calling them reads, as you've pointed out to me multiple times.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we haven't read shit.
So true. Let's get this done. Let's get this over with. It's early. It's New Year's Day. It is our day off, and we've been here for a minute not doing fuck all.
And realistically, not a lot. There's a couple of important games. There's still, 2 divisions to be wrapped up officially. And I think there's only one team there's only one spot that actually still has a playoff hopefuls in it. But we will get to those, and honestly, a lot of that starts early. Saturday is the day of the AFC North. Starting on Saturday, we've got Cleveland at Baltimore.
Taking Baltimore.
I'm taking Baltimore in a fucking landslide. We've established that Cleveland's not good, and unfortunately we've determined that DTR is definitely not going to be the savior for that. The other game, which is definitely the more important of the two, and definitely the more divisive of the two. So if Baltimore wins, I believe that. I'm trying to think. Does that give Baltimore the AFC North? Yes. If Baltimore wins, that gives them the AFC North. That guarantees them. That puts them at 12 wins. The Steelers are currently at 10-6. So if the division's wrapped up, I would honestly expect the Steelers. Hell, I don't know, because where the wild card teams are, there's still some jockeying for position going. But the next game, Bengals at Steelers. Bengals have to win to have a shot. That is their first step. So game number 2, 7 o'clock Saturday night. Bengals at Pittsburgh.
I'm taking the Bengals. It's a must-win for them. That offense can put up 100. The Steelers defense cannot defend 100. They can defend about 30. But once you start getting past that, their offense can't keep up. Bengals.
I'm also taking the Bengals. Moving to Sunday, the last day of NFL regular season football, Carolina at Atlanta. Atlanta has to win to stay alive. I'm going to take Atlanta. I think Carolina's we're competitive bubble has been burst. I'm taking Atlanta. I mean, they haven't been super impressive under Penix, but I think they're more impressive than what the Panthers are at the moment, and I don't think that's particularly close.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers. It's the NFC South. They're playing upset or spoiler. Bryce Young's kind of playing for his career.
I think he's done enough the last 6 weeks where...
I think he has too, but anything else that he can do to help that, obviously
That's fair.
Will go into account. Commanders at Cowboys.
I think the Commanders are going to end up resting. Yes, I'm taking the Cowboys.
I'm still going to take the Commanders. It's hard for me to trust Cooper Rush, even though they've looked better with Cooper Rush.
I do too, but I think it behooves and I understand NFL players don't go, well, it'd be better for us to lose. I think it behooves the Commanders to lose this game. and I think there may be some of that. Depending on what kind of relationship Dan Quinn has with this team, losing this game and setting yourselves up to play the Eagles, I believe, is your best. Because you don't have a way to get to the top spot for the wild card to go in and play.
To play at home.
Well, you would be playing the Bucs, playing against the Bucs at home. You don't have a way to get there. Trying to get in that 6-7 spot where you're either going against Philly or against LA is I think you're the best you can hope for. And if I remember correctly, I honestly think the way it works out, I don't think there's actually a chance. I think they may be locked into the 6th seed where they're going into LA. Depending on what happens with LA and the Bucs, they may be locked into going into LA. Because that would be the top one. Yeah, the top one would go to the Bucs, and I'm not sure the way the wild card looks. The other teams vying for the wild card are 8-8, 9-7. Commanders are 11-5. I forgot about the Packers. So yeah, I don't know. That could be interesting because I think obviously your first choice is the Rams at that spot. Honestly, I think your first choice going into the NFC playoffs, if you are the wild card team, is the Rams. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, but I think they may end up getting some of them boys a rest, and I think the Cowboys may have a chance to pull it off there.
Chicago at Green Bay.
I'm taking Green Bay to win.
Green Bay. I don't care.
I think Green Bay is looking at it as we win, we get the Rams.
Yeah, I think Green Bay is also looking at it. It's a division rival. The Packers own the Bears.
And they're 1-4, as we've established in the division.
Yeah. Houston at Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Is that supposed to surprise me? Because I'm taking Tennessee as well.
No, I didn't say to surprise anybody or shock anything. I think Houston's going to rest their starters. They know they're the 4 seed. Get as much fucking help and rest as you can. This game doesn't mean shit. Fuck all to you. You're not moving up. You're not moving down. Nobody can catch you. Nobody can remove you. You are the 4 seed. Don't play anybody. I think Tennessee comes out and because Tennessee's trying to figure out what they have at quarterback and who they have at quarterback. I'm not playing anybody if I'm Houston. I'm taking Tennessee. Jacksonville at Indianapolis.
Kind of went back and forth with this one just a little bit.
I have to.
Neither of these teams are great. I'm taking Indianapolis. I just feel like Jacksonville's a dumpster fire.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing of going back and forth and just coming to the synopsis that Jacksonville sucks.
Yeah.
Buffalo at New England.
Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo because I think Buffalo's going to rest their starters and New England's trying to lose.
Yeah, New England knows that they need talent. The best way to get talent is to have a high draft pick. And you're not firing your head coach to go get a new head coach, a new quarterback, and that was awful. And a corner.
Yeah, I think you're 60 minutes from Travis Hunter, and you know it. And I think the Bills' backups are probably about as good as the Patriots team. Giants at Philadelphia.
I'm going to take Philly. The Giants kind of surprised me last week. I didn't know they had that in them. If they would have, I can't say rolled over, but if it would have been the game I expected and say they still did win, I wouldn't have such reservations. But the Eagles, they're going to be resting people.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants just put up 45. I know.
So the Giants just putting up 45 is both the reason I wasn't and am picking the Giants to win. I was like, there's no fucking chance. I'm like, you know what? They just put up 45. It appears that Malik Neighbors and Drew Lock are like, fuck you, you're not getting a good draft pick. This team doesn't deserve a good draft pick, so we're just going to win football games.
Right.
So I'm going to take the Giants.
Okay. Saints at Bucks.
I think the Buccaneers, even if they do rest guys, again, that's a team that's kind of locked into that 4 seed. They could get a 3 seed technically if the Rams lose and they win. I think that's how that may go. I mean, I can find out real fast.
It doesn't matter. It's a home playoff game for either
Yeah,
one
it's
of those
it's a home
teams.
playoff game, and quite frankly,
You're
you're hosting the NFC North no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, it doesn't end well for you. I'm taking the Bucks. The Saints suck.
So if the Bucks win and the Rams lose, the Bucks would move to the 3 seed, which, as it's currently slated, would give them Washington, and Green Bay would go to Philly. I assume if both of those teams win, Washington and where's the fucking Packers at? Where are the fucking Packers at? There it is. Yeah. So if everybody stands pat in the wild card race, Washington would be the 6th seed, Green Bay would be the 7th seed. That makes me think Washington may not be resting many guys, at least until they have a significant fucking lead. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, I would love Green Bay to go into Philadelphia. I think that would be fucking phenomenal. Also, that would suck for the Lions because that gives the Lions. It means they have to go AFC North or NFC North, probably NFC North again, just to get to the Super Bowl. Kansas City at Denver.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I know they're resting fucking everybody, and Denver has to win. This is gonna bite me in the ass. But the Denver Broncos should not have been this good this season. And at some point, kind of like we're anticipating the injuries catching up with Detroit, at some point you're going to have to just be the team you're supposed to be, right?
I'm taking Denver, so I think I don't believe in Carl that much. I barely believe in Carl with the starting wide receiver room. I damn sure don't believe in Carl with the backup one. No, not whenever Pat Surtain's still going to be on the field.
I don't know. Carl can do some amazing things.
Carl used to be able to do some amazing things. I don't know so much about that now. Chargers at Raiders.
Chargers.
Chargers backups blow out the Raiders. Seattle Seahawks at Los Angeles Rams.
I'm going to take the Seahawks on a close one.
I'm going to take the Seahawks the Rams already announced they're sitting Matt Stafford. I think Seattle's just going to be in a spot, but
neither one of those teams is good.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the Rams are happy to be hosting a playoff game, and that's going to be the extent of it. Dolphins at Jets.
Dolphins.
Correct. Niners at Cardinals.
I'm taking the Cardinals. I do have one quick thing to say. Quick congratulations to Charvarius Ward on welcoming a baby boy just weeks after the loss of his daughter. God, I can only imagine how confusing life is for Charvarius Ward, who I'm also assuming has played his last down in San Francisco unless he takes a pay cut. But I forgot to mention that in the big show. Did have a baby boy earlier this week, so good God. He's away from the team. Obviously, he won't be playing.
Yeah.
He was in the locker room today, just seeing that in between shows. Same thing with Brandon Ayuk. He was playing basketball with Ronnie Bell in the locker room. And, or I guess they have a gym off the locker room. I'm not entirely sure how multi-billion-dollar operations operate.
What do you mean? Have you seen our studio?
But apparently he was taking jump shots and was actually getting some elevation. So ACL surgery seems to be going good. Hopefully be back next year. This season's lost. Take the L. Get that high draft pick. Go grab something. Cardinals are going to win because they're playing for pride.
Yeah. And the realistically only important game, the only game I give two shits about all weekend, Minnesota at Detroit.
Love this
for
game.
The 1 seed, for the division, for the whole fucking kit and caboodle.
I'm taking the Vikings.
Fuck! Taking the Vikings.
I did not like the Lions locker room. Now, that's not to say that Dan Campbell doesn't get it straightened out, but you acted like you played your Super Bowl by beating the Niners, who were out of the playoffs.
So I picked this before that even got brought up.
I know you did, but that mentality's huge.
Uh-huh. And that's kind of why I picked Minnesota. That defense's mentality. I think Detroit's one of those, and realistically, and obviously this is, this is going on script writer shit. Detroit can walk into anybody's building and absolutely dominate them.
Yeah, Detroit's still my pick to win the Super Bowl as of right now. I know I picked the Packers, and if something were to happen and the Packers beat one of those two teams that's playing on Sunday night, it's still the Packers. And if for some reason the Packers and the Lions are out of it, my pick's the Bills. Could you imagine a Bills and Vikings Super Bowl?
That would be so fucking... Who's going to choke this thing off? If that's the Super Bowl, Josh Allen is going to throw a pick in a tie ball game with about 8 seconds left. Or Sam Darnold is going to throw a pick with about 8 seconds left in a tie game. The guy that intercepts it is going to try to return it. He's going to get so hard by some other wide receiver that he fumbles, and the team on offense recovers it and scores on it. That's how that shit will go. And that might be in overtime.
Time expired in overtime.
Yeah. At the end of the second overtime. It would be so disastrous, and I would enjoy every moment of it. But I think the way that this is looked at, the Lions, they need the week of rest for sure. I don't think the Lions need to be at home to win.
No.
The Vikings need the rest for sure. Part of what makes that defense so damn dominating is when they're at home and the offense can't make their changes, can't make their calls. I think the Vikings need to be at home more than the Lions do. And I
the
think
Lions are still the more rounded team. Coming into it, the Lions off of a very emotional win where they probably shouldn't have. Where they probably should have rested some guys in a legitimately meaningless game because you lose to the Niners, right? You beat the Vikings.
You still get the 1 seed.
You still get the 1 seed. You played your Super Bowl by beating the Niners. Now you have to play another Super Bowl. And you're not looking at... I hope you're looking at it that way. I hope every game you look at from here on out is a Super Bowl because I want nothing more than the Lions.
Like I said, they went in the locker room and it was hey, what's been the message all season? 1-0. What's the message next season or next week? 1-0. So I hope there is that because I want this to be the greatest game 272 that will ever be played. And this is also side tangent. I'm ready for the NFL playoffs to go back to 6 teams because Week 18 is fucking meaningless. And I know when Week 18 we're gonna have more meaningful games. And dude, no, this is fucking atrocious. There are like 2 meaningful games all goddamn weekend.
Yeah.
And those are only meaningful realistically if the Bengals win. If the Ravens lose, yeah, that game becomes a little more meaningful for the Steelers and the Bengals because they both have to win to be in. If the Ravens lose, the Steelers are set. They're good. Whatever. Don't fucking care. If the Bengals want to win, they can win. that makes Denver, Kansas City relevant. Except Kansas City's not playing any starters because Kansas City has the 1 seed locked up.
Yeah.
The only truly meaningful game this weekend is Vikings, Lions.
The only other thing that I can see to fix this, if you want to keep the 7-team playoff format, get rid of the home field advantage for division winners. Good.
True record based.
Yeah, true record. Division winners, okay, if you're the last 2 teams to get in, you're the division winner, fine. You're 6 and 7. Unless you have the right to be in the top 4.
Yeah. Something's got to change because, I mean, quite frankly, there's no reason Houston's hosting an AFC home playoff game. And
Right.
there's no reason the Rams or the Bucks really are playing at home Super Wildcard weekend. I just there's too many things that can. It appears that Tanner McKee may be starting for the Eagles this week. I don't know. To me, it's like,
When you have teams lock up 2 weeks in advance,
yeah. I mean, you had a team win the division in week fucking 12, 13, whatever it was. Fucking Thanksgiving, Buffalo's wrapping up the division. Granted, the entire AFC East was fucking trash, so that's not necessarily the 18-game
yeah. Well, it was also
or 17-game slate problem.
we were also told that I just find that funny. All week, Buffalo can wrap up the division. The Chiefs played early, wrapped up the division before the Buffalo Bills did. Or no, locked in a playoff spot. That's
Locked
what
in the
it was.
playoff spot, yeah. You know,
It's
it is such a. I don't know.
how about if you really, really want to fix it, let's do a realignment.
I mean, do something. I mean, but then again, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, because the AFC and the NFC South are both pretty well trash. You've got,
Relegate to the XFL.
that's a whole nother fucking can of worms.
You own the XFL.
I understand, but that's a whole other can of worms I'm absolutely here for.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
With that, I think that will conclude, I guess, effectively our regular season coverage.
It will. We're gonna, I think, from here on out, probably drop down to 1 episode a week. Do both in one. This next, I guess not this week. Because next week we'll do.
We'll do a recap, but again,
And then
I mean,
game
there's only a couple meaningful games. There's only a couple of games where
That's true.
things are actually going to be held. There's only a few games where you're actually expecting full starters for the full game. So this will effectively wrap up the regular season coverage, and we will be turning all eyes towards playoff football. Hope you guys had a happy new year. Hope you had a good Christmas. Now that we got the bullshit out of the way, let's get locked in for the holidays. So until next week, I'm Austin. That's Ryan. This is the Too Fat to Play podcast. We will see you guys next time. Until then, be kind to each other, love one another, and always remember, fuck the Cowboys.